Oh, good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Friday, August 4th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. Check out the intro and we will be right back.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat.
Oh, like I said, good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Friday, August 4th. All you Yankee fans out there, wake up and get your coffee. TC, how you feeling, big time?
It's Friday, got my coffee.
Yes, it is.
What a win last night. Wow, how about that? Hey, that just makes this day that much sweeter. How you doing?
We had Frank Luna on the show yesterday. Frank Luna came out with the hot take saying that the Yankees are going to sweep the Astros over this weekend.
He did.
First game is in the books. The Yankees won 4-3. And also, when the Yankees score 4 or more runs in a game, our record is 47-12. Say that again. When the Yankees are able to score 4 or more runs in a game, our record this season is 47-12. Can the offense wake up? We'll get into all the things that came out yesterday, the Anthony Rizzo situation, more news from the Domingo Germán, Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman going back and forth at the trade deadline on should they buy or should they sell or should they stand back. We'll get into all that, right? But you guys in the chat, if you guys can, I don't want to ask this, but if you guys can, you can put a prayer emoji in the chat. I just got some horrible news this morning about my father who is whose cancer has metastasized and it's in real bad shape. After this show, I'm not doing Get Yanked later on today. I needed to just come on to this show and just to get all my emotions out, have a conversation with you guys, the community. So over the weekend, I will be making my arrangements to head down to Florida just so I could be with my pops during this time. So you guys can just throw a prayer emoji in the chat for old man Hector. I was named after my pops, so I appreciate you guys. We got Shane McNeil in the building. Shane, how you doing? My guy, Unpopular Opinion is in the building. 01LS1Z28DABX is in the building. How you doing? Big time Jerry. Jerry, on this type of morning, I love seeing you in the chat, Jerry. Jerry says, good morning to the boys. Hello, Hector and TC. How are both of you? Get your coffee and let's talk Yankees baseball. Absolutely, Jerry. We got David Cohen in the building. David Cohen, how you doing? Jacob Petruzzi's in the building. Jacob, how you doing? Jacob?
My guy, how you doing?
Jimmy Mathers in the building. Jimmy, how are you doing? NFE is in the building.
Yeah.
Our friend Mr. Sean Browning is in the building. Shane McNeil, who was just made a member of the Mod Squad this week. Shout out to Shane McNeil. Next week, we'll be adding a few more of the community members to the Mod Squad so you could be moderators in the chat because sometimes chat, it gets a little bit hectic. My other family member that's not blood, Casey Funtime is in the building. Casey Funtime, how you doing, my guy? Anthony Medina, mi hermano de la Islas in the building. Anthony, how you doing? Yo, Elvis, salute. Yo, Elvis, so let's pray for Severino tonight. Absolutely. You know, the last time they rested Aaron Judge was when Severino pitched last against the Orioles. You know, if you want to bet that Judge is going to sit out tonight, it's most likely it's going to be tonight. Who else we got in the building? Samantha T is in the building. Samantha, how you doing? Hope all is well. We got Dev Finch in the building. Salute to Dev. Salute. L.I. Yankee King. The only troll we acknowledge in the Yankee universe is our friend L.I. So if you guys can, smack that like button. If you're watching this for the first time, we are sitting at 1,245 subscribers. Help us on our way to 1,500 and more. Salute to everybody that's in the building. I can't forget this person, because if I forget AK-47, they gonna let me know in the chat. AK-47 is in the building. Salute to you. Anthony Garcia is in the building. I appreciate you, my guy. Big Blue in the Bronx. I appreciate you. And Dev, thank you so much. Said I'm sorry to hear about your pops, Hector. Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody in the chat for the prayer emojis, for the best wishes. My guy Medina, Hector, my prayers to you and your dad and your family. I appreciate you like always. But TC, let's get into the conversation, because we didn't talk right after yesterday's show. And also shout out to Frank Luna. Amazing conversation. We got 40 people in the building. If you guys can smack that like button. Great guy. Adam Landsman said prayers for your dad, Hector, and Anthony Rizzo. Absolutely. Jerry Cadell, I'm sorry to hear that, Hector. We would pray for your dad. I would notify our church people. Jerry, that means a lot to me. I definitely appreciate that. My pops, for you guys in the chat, just so you know, he's a retired NYPD detective. He served in the Vietnam War, so he is a veteran as well. He's a stone cold rock of a human being, right? He doesn't let his emotions out, but pops, right? You can't choose your parents. So I appreciate all you guys for your thoughts and prayers in the chat. But we got to get into it, because the Yankees, they came out yesterday that Anthony Rizzo, who has been struggling tremendously this season, numbers, a 244 batting average, 12 home runs, 41 RBIs. He will be going on the IL with concussion syndrome. TC, we've been talking about this. We've been saying that there's something wrong with Anthony Rizzo, but we've been told by Aaron Boone, by everybody that's on the coaching staff, that he's fine, he's good, right? He's healthy as he can be. Anthony Rizzo, if you guys heard the press conference yesterday, he said that he couldn't tell if it was a fastball or it was a curveball. He thought the pitch was here, but when he looked back on it, the pitch was there. His reaction time after being tested was far less of a reaction time than your average person like myself or like TC. TC, I got to get your thoughts on this, my guy. Also, people in the chat, let me know what's your thoughts on how the Yankees handle this Anthony Rizzo situation. Go ahead, brother.
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me with this medical staff that we have. I mean, these guys are so incompetent. It's very frustrating. It pisses me off, because honestly, because we see it all the time. I mean, we saw when he got hurt, when Fernando Tatis, what's his name? The junior, yeah. So he crashes into him at first base, getting back to the bag, and we saw Rizzo's reaction. I mean, it looked, when you get a stinger or something, you tweak your neck and your head, and there was obviously something wrong. He sat down, a couple games, they put him back in, and instead of reviewing his at-bats and seeing the day in, day out of him not hitting, not recognizing pitches, they should have done more tests, and he should have been immediately put on the IL within that first week. I mean, that's a head injury. That's very dangerous. And to be with that, it could cause further damage, and regardless of his career, that's his life at stake as well. So, huge thumbs down to our medical staff not catching this. It's terrible, because it's been happening to a lot of people, and we'll probably get into what they misdiagnosed Aaron Judge as well. So it doesn't stop there. There's been all these other instances where they've said, oh, well, it's this, and it'll be a week, and then he's out 60 days. But in this case, he's supposed to be out, and they make him play. So it's just ridiculous. It is.
No, definitely. And like Rod said, and shout out to my guy, Mr. Rod Thompson, with the $9.99 super chat. He said the fact that they let him play for 2 months in this condition, it's malpractice at its highest form. Absolutely. Like our friend Patrick Hennessy on Twitter said, Anthony Rizzo had an undiagnosed concussion for 2 months, and it was just now discovered by the Yankees medical staff. Someone needs to be jailed. It needs to be jailed. Someone needs to be fired. Someone needs to be held accountable. And if you ask me, TC,
accountability.
Are you? If you was to ask me, Hector, are you surprised if it was just a one-all situation like Anthony Rizzo, I would say I'm surprised. But this is the same medical staff that misdiagnosed Aaron Judge's toe injury. You remember when he first got the toe injury? What were we told? We were told it was a contusion on his big right toe. That's what we was told. Then it came out that it was a torn ligament in that toe. And then it came out that it was 2 torn ligaments in that toe. So not only was your franchise player, your captain, misdiagnosed once, he was misdiagnosed 2 different occasions. Then you go to Anthony Rizzo, the concussion situation, and then the news comes out about Domingo Germán and what happened to him. I'm gonna tell you guys in the chat right now, if there's someone who was drunk like Domingo Germán was drunk, yes, he was flipping couches, he was breaking TVs, arguing with Aaron Boone. Apparently, you don't take someone who's drunk.
Had to get involved,
and Severino had to separate them and get in the middle of it, restrain it. You don't take someone who's drunk like a Domingo Germán who is intoxicated and then put that person into a sauna so he could sweat them out. You don't do that. If someone is intoxicated and that's in their system, if you put them into an environment that is hot, like a sauna, you're raising the risk of that person having a heart attack. It's literal, it's medical malfeasance at its highest. Somebody needs to be held accountable for this. Not just the Domingo Germán situation. It's the Anthony Rizzo. It's the Aaron Judge. It's just compiled. It's just horrible. Hal Steinbrenner, someone needs to be fired from that medical staff.
Right. Yeah, it's just overall, it's a dysfunctional organization from top to bottom. I mean, regardless of what's going on
Samantha
the field.
T, I'm sorry, Samantha T said, is that what they did? Yes, Samantha. Yeah. They took him, they put him in the sauna because they wanted him to sweat out the alcohol from his system. You don't do that. You raise the risk. You elevate the risk of having a heart attack if you do that.
I honestly think they all need to be diagnosed for concussion or something. I mean, clinical stupidity. I don't know what to say about this whole organization. I don't get it. I mean, like I was saying, regardless of what we're seeing on the field and all the bad moves. Shout out to the
creature, Tyler. Tyler, appreciate you. Go ahead. Go ahead, TC. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but this is terrible when it comes to the players' health and their careers, their lives on the line, and you're doing, putting guys in sauna when that shouldn't even happen. Come on. I mean, what is going on?
I want to bring up someone else to help us with the conversation. Of course, I got to tap into my guy, Mr. Jigga, man.
Yeah, good to see you, Jigga. There he is.
Let's go. We're not doing Get Yanked later on today, so we had to have some of the Get Yanked here on the Yankees Morning Brew.
Get some energy in the show.
You've been listening to the conversation. What's your thoughts on this whole debacle from the medical staff?
First, bro, I love you. Prayers to you, the family, your father. You know that. I'm here for you, my guy. Switching gears to this situation, I started last night, and I realized we literally can go back and make about a 45-minute to 1 hour episode of clips from Yankees Morning Brew, from Pete's game seasons and rants. Okay, including Pinstripe Chronicles. We can literally take just those 3 and make about an hour show of everything we've talked about when it comes to Rizzo and how from the moment we saw that, what was it, with Tatis? From the moment we saw that, we've been calling it, something is wrong. They're not telling us the truth. Something is wrong. And here comes this shit. And then the Domingo Germán situation, like everybody, and you said it, Heck, someone needs to be held accountable, but let's be real. If this entire medical staff, Cashman, all them are on fire, what are we doing?
Yeah.
How do we all see it? Clear as day, something is wrong with Rizzo. We already knew we had situations with Germán, other situations, but shit like that stems from something. So if we as fans can all see it and call it for what it is, but yet when we were saying it, what are Twitter people saying? Oh, you guys are crazy. Yeah. Oh, stop it. Oh, he's just getting old.
You got to trust the team. You have to trust the medical staff, the medical professionals, which I'm one that I do. I will trust the medical professionals.
We got one on staff. He's right here.
No, I'm not.
Retired, but he's right here.
No.
The point is,
I drove an ambulance. That's all I did.
Yeah, well, you drove it really good. All right. But listen, I know we're not doing Get Yanked today. So I guess I'll throw one in here. This entire medical staff, this front office needs to get freaking yanked. Okay.
That's because it's
ridiculous.
Put the Get Yanked in the chat.
Get yanked
in the chat. Like Sean Browning said, This is not a military combat zone where your medical treatment, your resources are limited. This is the New York Yankees, a professional sports team with all the technology and specialists available at a phone call at a drop of a dime.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat. We got 56 people in the building. If you guys can't smack that like button, my guy Lorenzo Cardona is in the building. Enzo, my guy,
Yes,
salute to you.
sir.
Appreciate you. Adam Landsman, who said Dr. David J. Chow, given the seriousness of this concussion as well as delayed symptoms, Rizzo would be fortunate to return to baseball by next spring training. Now,
Wow.
Rizzo has been dealing with this for the past 2 months. If you wanted to try to make a run towards the postseason, or even if when Rizzo came to you in the Baltimore series, that was before the trade deadline. Rizzo came to you guys and told you guys, I'm something's not right. There's something that's off with me. You could have took that time and traded for a replacement. It could have been what you could have figured it out, because with the one thing when you look at this Yankee roster, we're very flexible with a lot of our players. So you didn't have to try to trade for a first baseman. You could have got an outfielder and you could have had Jake Bauer play first base. You could have went out there, got a third baseman, and moved DJ LeMahieu to play first base. There were options to do. You wasn't hamstrung with your options like, oh, there's only a few first basemen available. No, you could have got a first baseman, an outfielder, or a third baseman and moved or rotate our players around. That's what's good about this roster, the flexibility on this roster. They decided as a front office, no, we're just going to stand pat and we'll deal with this as we deal with this.
Does this not even show you, Heck and TC, how smart Aaron Judge is? And I know that sounds crazy, but the man has his own staff. He has his own doctors he goes to. He believes, you know what I mean? Like when your captain of your team is looking you in the face saying, yo, I don't trust your batting coaches. I don't trust your medical staff. I'm a sign here, but I'm going to keep my shit in line.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, somebody
I needed this. I needed this laugh. Shout out to Punjab Kings fan. I needed this laugh. With the Domingo Herman fight, Josh Donaldson, who would win? Listen, Punjab Kings fan, I got my money on Domingo Herman just because he has that height and he got that reach. I needed that laugh right now.
What do you mean? Of course it beat Domingo, bro, because Josh Donaldson would just try to look at him scary and act tough and then run away.
He would hide under a table. Yeah.
We got Pat Crocker in the chat. First time seeing Pat in the chat. Pat says this dumpster fire doesn't need all this extra gasoline. Absolutely mind-blowing. Absolutely, Pat.
It really is.
It is mind-blowing. Go ahead.
The funny thing is, Pat, it's not even throwing more gasoline. It's the stuff that we're noticed already that was causing the dumpster fire.
Yeah.
So it's all coming out now because when it rains, it pours. You know what I mean?
And like Anthony Garcia said, if you ain't down with us, we got the 2 words for you. Yeah. I needed that one. No, I appreciate
I always wanted to say that. I got to do it.
Let's see. The Bleacher Creature Tyler in the chat says, in 3 years, I've had my doctorate in physical therapy. I am coming to rescue to save the Yankees medical.
Yes.
Please, Tyler,
come in there.
Please, we need you. We definitely need you.
They
if you
have
do
no
get
idea
that job,
what
Tyler, we would love to interview you on the Yankees Morning Brew. How you doing?
How you save the Yankees?
Just so we say we interviewed him before he was who he was. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like David said, hey guys, is there an open panel? By the way, Heck, prayers to you. I had a father that had cancer, so I've been there. Yes, David, we will have the open panel later on so we could bring people up so we get their opinions, get them into the conversation. While we'll have the show, we're not going to get rid of the open panel. Friday is always open panel.
Always.
That's my guy. Unpopular said, that's my co-host, guys. Oh, okay, cool. That's what that was. Copy.
Okay.
Copy.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense because he will be going to school for his medical degree. Absolutely. So, Pat, we definitely need you up here, Pat. Appreciate you in the chat. If you guys can give my friend Pat a shout out, welcome to the community. This is Unpopular Opinions co-host over on their channel.
Yep.
Make sure you guys support and subscribe to Unpopular Opinions Sports and Gaming. They do amazing work over there. What else? It's a roller coaster of emotions dealing with the New York Yankees. And it's like every day you wake up, it's like, how worse can it get, right? Because we had this week, nothing happened at the trade deadline, right? We struck out 30 times against the Baltimore Orioles. Aaron Boone came out and said, listen, we struck out 18 times, but we still had good at-bats or whatever. And you need that type of laugh.
Yeah.
The whole debacle that happened,
The
I wouldn't
team's
say a
a laugh.
debacle between Aaron Boone and John Boy and Jake. And I know we was talking about it yesterday just for a little bit so, but I'm giving credit
that
to
was
John
good.
Boy and Jake. I'm giving credit to them,
Mhm.
especially Jake, going back and forth with Aaron Boone. If you guys didn't see that interaction, make sure you guys go check it out. So I'm
Boone
gonna
was
throw it
heated.
over to you. What do you think the Yankees should go? Should we should we even expect Anthony Rizzo to be ready for next year?
I don't think so. But what I really start to think about.
Sorry, I apologize. Samantha T with the $2 super chat. I apologize for not highlighting this. What started the fight with Herman? We have no idea. Nothing. Yeah, nothing. You know. Shout out to Bobby in the chat. Appreciate you, Bobby. Bobby says, new to the channel, big Yankee fan. The Rizzo issue is crazy. It is an ongoing issue, especially with Trevino.
Exactly.
And that's what I was waiting to bring up. Bobby, thank you so much.
It's another one.
So,
we forgot to bring up Trevino.
That's literally the route I was
Cells.
going, right? You look at all those injuries and stuff, and what it makes me think about too, guys, is we sat here and we said, man, what needs to go wrong for changes to happen? We were asking for it, right? They were hiding all of this stuff. I'm sorry, you're not going to tell me all of a sudden they realized it was wrong. No, they were hiding it, just like they did with Trevino. Okay. I mean, every single person that's been injured, right? Let's be real. Josh Donaldson, you keep him here. We know he was injured. We know we don't want him here. Like, it's so many, and it keeps repeating itself. So it sucks because we're kind of getting our wish at the same time of, man, I hope things happen that we can see something change and blow up. How can you sit here and not say, how the hell is Brian Cashman not fired? I mean, granted, we know it probably won't happen, right? After a 4-year extension, but if all of this doesn't even make that change, then I have no hope for next season or any plan going forward. Because if all of this is now in public eye and we still see no changes, how can I sit here and invest any more money in our Yankees? I can't do it, bro.
No. Something needs to happen this offseason. The medical staff, someone needs to be held accountable. Someone needs to be held accountable. But like you said,
Hector, can I ask you real quick, bro?
Go ahead.
Do you think you talked about it the other day on, I think it was either the last episode or on the trade deadline special? You said they're going to look for other people to be the ones that they blame and throw under the bus. Could this be the game plan that we're seeing? Okay, guys, we're going to have to really roll some heads. Let's start leaking all the medical stuff so that at the end of the season, we look smart getting rid of our medical staff. We look good getting rid of the so-and-so. Do you think this is kind of that play too, bro, that they have now? They have their scapegoat? Oh, my gosh, now it explains it. We were looking horrible because of our medical staff.
Yep. That's going to be the excuse. Every season, it's always, listen, our health. Wasn't the medical staff revamped back in 2018? Who was in charge of that? Wasn't the entire medical staff upheld and revamped and everyone was switched and everyone was changed and they bring new people and new equipment? Who's in charge of the medical staff, of the hiring of the medical staff? Because maybe it's not after a while, it's not the people that are being hired. It's the person that's doing the hiring of the people in those positions. Right? The first two times you could blame, all right, well, those are just, horrible doctors, or it was the medical staff, but someone hired the medical staff. Someone hired Aaron Boone. Someone went out there and constructed this roster, and it falls on one person. But we know that person, he has a lifetime protection when it comes to being in charge of the New York Yankees, and that is Brian Cashman.
Yeah, it's time for him to step aside. I mean, he should step down. Honestly, if Hal's not going to do anything, I mean, this is a dysfunctional team right now.
Oh,
with all the medical and
wait to bring up the Hal stuff because we got to talk about it, right? People in the chat also. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Frank Rivera, who's in the building. Shout out to Frank Rivera. Appreciate you. Hype Beast J is in the building. Shout out to you. Hector Cruz is in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. And yeah, Hype Beast J. I don't know what to believe anymore. They hide injuries. They fake injuries too. I don't trust anything they say. Hype Beast J, we right there with you, bro. You may have Hype Beast in your name, but there was nothing about that statement that was a Hype Beast statement, my guy.
And how about Pop? I mean, even he said it. I don't see all these health issues with our 20 and 22-year-olds. Just saying. Yeah, we're not seeing all these crazy injuries in the minors. Seems like that medical staff is doing their job right.
Yeah.
Warren Franz, it's a constant slap in the face. Gaslighting is over and over. Clear, something is wrong with Rizzo. Boom, he is as healthy as he's ever been. Sickening. Yes, and
100%.
those were the statements we were getting anytime any of us fans asked, what is wrong with Rizzo? Oh, he is the healthiest he's ever been.
Yeah.
Apparently that wasn't true.
Can we start a movement where the dictionary now will show when you look up gaslighting just our Yankees picture, like Cashman?
That's what it needs. That's what it needs to.
Just the face you have on there on Cashman, right there. That's the face.
And heck, you remember, bro, and TC, when we were all together on one of the shows, we sat there and said, whatever they say, just know it's the opposite. And here's more proof of that. Rizzo's fine. No, he's not.
No.
Now we hear it. Get out of here, man.
Just want to answer a question, Bobby, in the chat. You guys mentioned an open panel.
Yeah.
How do I join, Bobby? We put the link for the open panel in the chat. We'll be putting the link out around 11:45. Everyone is welcome to come on the open panel to have a conversation. Everyone just has to be respectful. And if you're gonna jump on the open panel, make sure you're in a nice situation where you got good lighting, a good presentation. Right?
Yeah, don't be coming up laying in your bed with your nibble out, your nose.
I don't want to see you laying in your bed. No, nobody.
We got a product here, people. All right, we try to be professional.
It's 11 o'clock in the morning. No one wants to see you laying in your goddamn bed. Point blank, period.
Yeah. Runs out, get some light.
Just say it for what it is. Wake your ass up and get a coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Wake your ass up and get a coffee. But no, appreciate everybody that's in the building. 80 people are watching right now. If you guys can, please smack that like button.
Yeah.
And like Pablo said, don't be a Caputo. That's right.
Yeah, in the dark.
But even Caputo, Caputo switched it up because before Caputo was to come, his room was a mess. But then Caputo switched it up. He cleaned up his room. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Mikey Caputo.
He darkened it so you couldn't see it.
That's a smart way to think about it. Also,
that's effort.
He's like this. He's like this from the side.
Punjab Kings fan, appreciate you. Punjab Kings fan, just so you know, we do have basketball shows on this channel as well. We got a Knicks show and we got another show that is an overarching covering of the entire NBA. You would love to chime into that one as well. Burke So Saucy, shout out to Murky So Saucy, and that's what it looks like. It looks like tonight's game might be postponed, supposed to rain until 1 a.m. Well, right now it's not raining, but I'm looking out my window. It's dark, overcast. Right? It's real dark. Yeah. It's real dark outside of New York City right now.
Yeah,
and I'm not that far from the stadium.
My cousin said, figures I come into town to go to the Yankees game. He says it's going to pour all freaking day. I was like, that sucks, dude.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Brett Alexander in the chat. What's up, fellas? Rizzo, Herman, Trevino, Donaldson, LOL. They think we're stupid. They have just DFA Jonathan. We know they should just have just DFA Donaldson. We know he sucked. Yes. Yes.
Well, don't forget the other Trevino we're forgetting the other Trevino, Lou Trevino, F. Ross, and Montas. There's three more guys that they probably misdiagnosed and didn't have any clue.
You know what's even funnier that just came to my mind, guys, is we might at the end of the season be like, damn, maybe Aaron Hicks wasn't that bad. Maybe he was the one that was fed up with all the shit here, and he was right to not show up to the game till an hour before.
Right, protest. He was protesting.
Gosh. All right, that just hurt my own feelings. Saying
Alan Lansman in the chat says, New York commits medical insurance fraud, and they get paid for those injuries. They manipulated the time for return. Hicks was cut because Hal collected over $30 million with injured players. Listen, Alan, I'm gonna just say it like this. I'm not gonna tell you why I left my old job, right? But all I'm gonna say is I was an EMS supervisor for 6 years working 911. Your statement that you just said is the reason why I left that field, went back to school, and became an electrician. I'm not going to go into why, but what Alan just said was the reason why I left where I was working to switch my profession. Shout out to you, Alan. I appreciate that in the chat. Let's see who else we got here before we continue on the subject. Jerry Cadill, it's dark everywhere, even the club. Yes, Jerry. Yes, it definitely is dark, right? But no, shout out to Pete Seminetti, because according to what he was told, Brian Cashman wanted to sell off multiple players, but was told not to by Hal Steinbrenner.
Wow, that's a shock, actually.
It is a shocker, right? Because I thought Brian Cashman would want to stay pat and just try to go with what we got. Hal Steinbrenner, he saw what was happening in Queens. He said, no, we got season tickets to sell the rest of the way. We got playoff packages that we got to get ready to start putting out there when it comes to promotion. I'm going to throw it over to UTC first. What's your thoughts on this that came out, or the news that came out about Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman being at a head front at the trade deadline?
Yeah,
At
it's
an
kind of a
impasse, I
shocking
should say.
statement. Yeah, but I think that he put that out because at the time there was nobody left. They were reactive. They weren't proactive. They should have been going after a lot of these players
Hold on, wait
in the
1 second,
first
1
place.
second. Hold on 1 second. Seven,
Yep.
what's going on? I have no idea what's going on. Best wishes to Jason of 161 River Ave for a speedy recovery. I'm gonna be texting my guy. 7, let me know what happened to Jason. I was literally just talking to him the other day, like literally 2 days ago. You let me know what's going on with Jason. Hope all is well with Jason. If you can, guys, send some prayers for Jason. Hope all is well. It's been a horrible morning so far. Go ahead, TC. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so like I was saying, the players that were available weren't there. So he wanted to double down and say, oh, okay, well let's stand pat because what we bring in won't change our team so much. So selling off a Glaber or selling off a Clay Holmes won't get that return and make our team, because he wants to go for this year. And at this time we were seeing that they didn't have a team to compete for a championship this year. But in Hal's mind, because he obviously thinks we're confused, he's confused because the team on the field wasn't producing. And I don't know if this is save Cashman's face or save his job, and he taking all the blame. I don't know. This team is so confusing to me. I just don't get them anymore. I really don't.
Oh, wow.
What's up?
All right. No, sorry. I was just looking. Yeah, prayers to Jason. You're muted, Heck.
Uh-oh.
He's 7 said it was an acute stroke that Jason happened. So hopefully Jason is fine. Jason, guys. Yeah. If you guys can reach out to Jason from 161 River Ave, whether that's on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, make sure you reach out. Send your thoughts and prayers. I just did right now. That sucks, man. Prayers for Jason, man. Prayers for Jason. God damn, this morning fucking sucks. Sorry to curse, but this morning has been a shitty ass morning. Jesus Christ. Oh man. But yeah, go ahead, Sel. I want to get your takes on this whole Hal and Cashman shit.
Yeah, and look, guys in the chat, I appreciate all you guys. Again, prayers to everybody. It's one of those mornings, and makes it hard to sit here and do shows and talk Yanks, but let's get into it here. My thing with this right here is, like you said, Heck, it's crazy to see that what we've been asking for a long time is, are they even on the same page? Do they even communicate? This is clear to me that we know for a fact that they don't. Okay. So let's say Hal really did say, hold on to the guys. TC, you said it. They weren't making moves at the right time when they should have, right? My question now is, do you think some of these injuries obviously might be a big wake-up call to Hal as well? They're keeping him in the dark? Because I can't sit here if you're telling me that Hal is telling him, no, don't trade these guys. The disconnect is even bigger than we thought. Because there's no way he's going to sit there and say, hey, man, if you can swing a deal for these guys knowing they're injured, do it. So if you're sitting here telling me Hal's telling him not to make those trades, then that shows me that it's even worse than we originally thought, guys. There is no communication here. The old man, Cashman, is sitting there, playing that role of, I was under dad and this and that, and he's the older family friend. And Hal, being the younger guy, sitting there looking at shit like, oh, I trust this guy. I have a feeling a lot of this is blowing up in his face right now as well, just like it is for us. There is no communication in this organization, bro.
No, 100%. And I want to echo that, but I just want to shout out my guy, E. Brunson, who's in the building. We got 94 people watching. We only got 42 on the likes. Let's smash that like button. Let's get the likes up. I know didn't have the type of energy I normally have, but guys, if we can, let's smack that like button. Let's try to shake it off.
For the boys.
First and foremost, I appreciate everybody that is in the chat. We appreciate all of you guys tuning in, but I got my guy Real Boshek on Twitter who said yesterday, and I retweeted this and I echo this statement. This is the moment where Hal Steinbrenner needs to walk into the room and start firing everyone until there is no one left in the room. How do you allow a guy who's concussed to play for 2 months with a neurological brain issue? He was batting third in our lineup. Our lineup was horrible. He was putting up numbers that made him look like Joey Gallo. If not, Joey Gallo was a little bit better. He was worse than Joey Gallo. How do you? There's no way that you can excuse letting a guy play for 2 months with a concussion, bro.
Exactly. You can't.
There's no excuses about, and then you add on everything else that compiles on top of it. The Aaron Judge misdiagnosis, the way they handled Domingo Germán when he was belligerently drunk. If he's drunk, you do not put someone that's drunk into a sauna. You just don't do that.
No.
You got home attendants that just change diapers every day that know not to do that. These are medical MDs that decided, you know what, we're gonna put this drunk bastard into a sauna.
Yo, but what's even pisses me off even more is this man literally went into conferences, looked us all in the face, looked in that camera and said, everything's all right. What are you guys upset about? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Things will be fine. They're gonna turn it around. We trust our guys. Are you kidding me? You straight up looked us in the face and said, hey, back here, you guys have no idea, but this injury to Rizzo, yeah, he's concussed. We don't give a shit. We're going to keep playing him. And then you have the nerve to sit here and pitch all the fans that, guys, everything's going to be fine. I trust our guys. They're going to turn it around. Guys, how much worse did they make Rizzo? How much worse? Like, for real, like, think of him as not just the player, the person. Like, you're going to sit here and tell me you have no problem taking what we hope is one of our core guys to lead us to a championship down the road, which obviously not this season, and you're going to sit here and allow him to play? You're going to sit here and allow our catcher that we held on to with a wrist issue for months to play?
Yeah, which happened in spring training.
For me, it's way past just being a Yankee fan and the Yankees. As a human being, you're going to allow these guys to go out there? That's some bullshit, man.
It is.
I'm sorry.
It is.
Like, if anybody isn't following suit, like that guy the other day that had his sign up there, fire Cashman, if every single person in the stadium doesn't have a sign that says get rid of this freaking clown, then what are we doing? Because now it's well past just the chase for 28. It's the fact that any player sees this, who wants to come here? You don't think Soto went to the front office like, yo, just take me off, yo, don't even put me on that trade, bro. Take me off. He paid them to say, don't trade me. Who wants to come play for this freaking organization? I'm sorry, man. That's just ridiculous. It's freaking. It shouldn't be allowed.
And then they stayed pat at the trade deadline. You know, kudos to Brian Cashman for wanting to trade off whatever pieces he wanted to trade off. But Hal Steinbrenner decided, he looked at this roster. He said, you know what? Nah, we can still make some damage. And granted, we won yesterday with 2.5 out of the last wild card spot, right? I understand that. But with the roster we have now, you can't think that this is a roster that could do some damage. You're gonna have to switch things up. I know we got players that are coming back as things start to get better. I have a little bit more confidence, but this offense, we need to score runs, because when we score runs, we win. I brought it up. We are 47-12. 47-12 when we score 4 or more runs a game. Shout out to Anthony Volpe, probably one of his best performances. We don't win these last 2 games if it wasn't for Anthony Volpe. Point blank.
Yeah.
And like Li said, all those guys are mixed diagnosed. And like I said, Anthony Volpe, credit to Anthony Volpe. Credit to the Yankees for sticking with him, because these last 2 games, I don't think we win them without Anthony Volpe. And that's just me being honest.
Right.
Well, I also like to give credit to another guy for the last 2 games. I'm just saying.
Big G.
Oh, yeah. You know, I got to throw my Met Crush in there. Come on, Big G. Boy, every time he hits a home run, I run around. I just whip out the S on the check.
At least, bro,
he did it for you. I know he did it for you.
Bro, when it comes to Giancarlo Stanton, at least his home runs, right? Somebody broke out the stat yesterday on Twitter last night. More than half of his home runs have either tied the game or put the Yankees ahead. Yeah. Right. So it's not like Josh Donaldson hitting meaningless home runs. When you look at Giancarlo Stanton, his home runs, more than half of his home runs, they either tied the game or gave the Yankees the lead at the time. So when it comes to Giancarlo Stanton, we get it. Giancarlo Stanton, when he comes off injury, he needs some time to get it right. He needs like a month to get things going. He's had 10 home runs over his last few games? 10 of them things.
He can carry a ball club. He can carry a ball club. For sure. And honestly, I don't know. I might think about putting him right behind Judge. If he's hot, it's because Judge has no protection. They're just going to walk him. And if you're going to walk Judge and you got a hot Stanton behind him, that's
I want to shout out to D-Rod also. I saw D-Rod is going through a situation right now in the chat. D-Rod, my fam, you know we here for you, bro. Message me on Twitter or Instagram. Let me know I can help you out. Yeah, happy 50th birthday to D-Rod. That's a horrible gift to have, but D-Rod, you made it to 50, brother. A lot of people don't even make it to 50, my guy. So shout out to you. But let's switch it up a little bit, right? And I said that I was saving the last topic. I didn't tell TC what it was in our pregame show. Normally we have like a 15-minute pregame show before we go live. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Worldwide Mayberry from For the Love of the Game. If you guys didn't know, that's why I started out with my guy L and Zach, and then there was L and Hard Will. Shout out to my guys over there For the Love of the Game. And also, we got 95 people that are in the building. If the guys can't, please smack that like button for your boys.
You just hit the
like L said, like L says, JETS, Jets.
Oh, L, I love you. That just made me. There we go.
Man. But no, we got to switch up a little bit momentarily because the Yankees, they won 2 in a row. Right. And TC, I told you I wanted to get your raw, authentic response to this, right?
Right. Right.
But the New York Yankees, the season is not over. Yankee fans, we gained the ground in the wild card standing. We are 2.5 from Toronto, behind Toronto for that last wild card game. We got less than 2 months left to go. I just have a feeling maybe we can do something. Right, I know I got Pete's name up there. That's not Pete, but my guy on Twitter said we got to reassure the bullpen. We got to get Nestor back. Maybe Frankie Montas can contribute in September. Carlos Rodon, he needs to get the rust off. Try and get to the wild card spot. The Braves and the Phillies over the last 2 seasons were able to make it to the World Series while being wild cards. Am I being optimistic? I absolutely am being optimistic. But we won 2 games in a row. You guys said, a bit too fast. It was a bit too fast for my life. Right? But I'm here. I'm trying to. Frank Luna came yesterday. He said we were going to sweep the Astros. I'm jumping on the Frank Luna train.
He got one.
I'm jumping on the Luna train.
Yes, I'm jumping on.
I'm going to throw it over to you, TC. Is the season over in your eyes?
No, the season is never over with the Yankees. We don't sell. We don't give up. I mean, as fans, we think the sky is falling every time we lose a game or we get a losing streak.
That's right.
But it's not over. But I'm not saying that we're the championship team. I want to see them make a run. I mean, it all depends on the offense. The pitching has been solid all season long. Bullpen has been our strength. We don't have a problem there. Our problem is the offense. We got a glimpse of it yesterday and the day before. We score 4 runs, we win ball games. If we can just get the momentum going, get some guys, hot. We got Rizzo now sitting on the bench. Jake Bauers takes over. We got some of these other guys coming in. Stanton's getting hot. We got to get DJ LeMahieu back on track. Maybe he's injured. Maybe they misdiagnosed him with something. Maybe he needs glasses. I don't know. But get these guys rolling, and we can get in. We're only 2.5 out of the wild card. That is not a stretch. We can do it. So it's not over, Yankee fans. We're right there, striking distance. We can do it. So hang in there.
Like Brett just said in the chat, if we win 1 more, that's called a winning streak. Yes, absolutely. And I see my guy Hypebeast J in the chat says, laughing my ass off. He said we won 2 games in a row. We moving the goalposts. Yeah, bro. It's like Techno Famicom Bowl. Remember back in the day from Techno Bowl? That's what we doing. We moving that goddamn goalpost. Shout out to those that are in the chat. YOLO's in the building. YOLO says Rodon needs to stop just relying on the top of the strike zone, which I definitely agree with. If there's one thing that we could say when it comes to Carlos Rodon, stay away from the top of the strike zone.
Yeah.
Right. You can navigate east to west. If you're going to throw a pitch on the top of the strike zone, throw it outside of the strike zone so it's a ball. Don't lay a cracker there where they could just knock it for a home run. Don't give them a nice little meatball. We don't need that. Who else we got in the building? Die hard Yankee fan. Agree. It's all about the offense.
It is.
It absolutely is.
It really is.
It definitely is.
Find ways to score runs. That's what we need to do.
Struggles of months ago, weeks ago. Right now, it's about how I can help us win each night. I can't be trying to catch up on a couple of bad months. just what I can do to produce that night. And if it doesn't work, we get another game in 20 hours. This is a quote from Giancarlo Stanton, which, if you look at his numbers, Giancarlo Stanton has been coming on fire of late, right? They moved him out of the cleanup spot. They got him low in the lineup. I know Celso. We were talking about how Giancarlo Stanton is hurting this team just a couple of days ago. I know.
No, it's all right, because, you know, I like to know at least one take is good.
Team. Go ahead, Celso.
Well, no, back to what you were saying, you know, as far as we're always in it, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like we are in a season where it's such a catch-22. The fan in me wants us to make a run. Let's get into the wild card. Let's go. Let's do it. Maybe we can make it, right? And then the other side of me is like, well, let's be real. We get into a wild card, great. We get an extra game, right? I don't see us really competing with these other ones in a full series and coming away with number 28. And then the other piece is, I don't want to say, hey, let's make a run so we can actually see some changes, but we know there won't be any changes, right? So the entire, where we are right now is the entire catch-22. You can't win, you can't, regardless. Yay, we celebrate wins. Look, if Frank Luna's right and we sweep the Astros, holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Wouldn't that be something?
We got a couple more games to see. We got to see.
Saying,
we got one out the way.
That happens, then all of a sudden
you got to get by the Severino game.
Right. Oh God. That's why it's raining. New York itself was like, oh shit. Yeah. They're hopeful today. Let's just skip it. More. Yeah, skip this one. But that's my thing, right? It'll give us even more false hope if we walk away pulling this series away from the Astros, right? Because then it's going to make us start thinking, can we actually compete in a series in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Right. So it's just, I'm in such a spot right now where I don't know what I want more. Do I want 28 more, or do I want to see change in this front office and people gone so me and my kids can enjoy what I enjoyed as a kid, as a Yankee fan, for the rest of their life? Because just getting something right now, yeah, we'll celebrate that moment, but we'll still be stuck in that same mentality, that same shit show. So it's tough, man. It's tough.
So real quick, so we got go ahead. Hold on 1 second. We got a $4.99 super chat from Uncle Grandpa Tats.
That's right.
At this stage, we are either going to make a run or spoil some other team's chance.
Clean shaven
Tats. Good way to look at it. Clean shaven Tats. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, heck, did or both of you? I saw somebody in the chat earlier, and I was about to look it up. Montas stopped his rehab.
That came out like a week or so ago. That's why I stopped talking about Frankie.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if we actually would see him in September.
No. I don't. I definitely don't. AK-47 said, hold on, wait. He had a chat that he said, Hector, on Talking Yanks, they told Boone if you start another game with Sevy, you basically saying, I don't care. Boone says, yes, I understand. Yeah. Well, today Sevy is starting. What do you think about that? Listen. I think it's just because of the circumstances. Domingo Germán, obviously, most likely will be done for the rest of the season. It's probably the last time he'll pitch for the Yankees, which is probably. It is what it is.
But let's be real. It's good. We know exactly what's gonna happen. It's been how many games in a row that he shit the bed?
Oh yeah.
Right now he'll have that Severino one where we sit there and we get angry that he looks so good. He's gonna give us we're gonna be like, oh shit, Sevy killed it, and then we can count on another 4 starts of shit from him.
Joe is in the building. Shout out my guy, Joe. Uncle Tat said, "Who the hell is Frankie? Is he a pitcher?" Yeah, Tat. I don't know who that guy is. I am.
He's the bullpen catcher.
Keep playing Big G in the outfield, no matter how ugly he looks. It helps his bat. Absolutely, my guy.
We have no choice with Judge being DH. Yeah.
Like he said, Montez said, fuck this shit, I'm out. Shout out to LA Yankee King. All right, I'm throwing in the link for the open panel. You guys are more than welcome to jump on the open panel. Always remember, we got 90 people in the building, so if you guys can smack that like button, let's run up the likes. Let's get back to 100 likes on this stream. Go check the likies. Also, we are sitting at 1,252 on the subs. So appreciate all the new subs.
Right.
Also, if you guys are jumping on for the open panel, just know we got to respect YouTube and Twitter's terms and services. Please be respectful to everyone else that is on the open panel. If someone is in the middle of giving their take, let them finish. like you would be given the same amount of time to finish your take. Go ahead, Sosa, before I bring
All
up
right,
the
we
first
got
few guys.
63 likes. We've got 90 people in the chat. Come on, guys, like it. Supposedly, it helps the channel. You know,
Yeah,
make
just
sure
grows
that
a little
make
bit.
sure that we can keep coming back here and doing this stuff for you guys. All right.
Yeah.
So smack the likey. If you're in the
How
chat
you
and you're a
doing?
lurker and you don't want to talk, that's fine. But listen, there's a little button. Look right down, right there. It says
It's free.
subscribe. You just click it, and then hit the likey. It looks like a little thumb. Just like that.
And
all right?
it's free to do. It's free to do. So we got a few
And
people
turn on
backstage.
notifications as well.
Yeah,
Now
turn
we-
your
lot of
notifications.
directions. Just do it. All right, sorry.
Like Blood of the Panther said, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification.
The moderator of moderators. Oh, I took your
So
line. Heck.
we go. Yeah, you definitely did. So we got to bring up a few of the people to join us for the open panel. We got my guy Dave Cohen backstage. David Cohen, I love that
All right,
t-shirt.
Dave, how you
What?
doing?
What's going on, guys?
What?
Yeah, boy, he got a stone cold moment. Let's go.
That's right.
Oh, hell yeah.
I miss
Yeah,
those days.
That's right, Dave. That's right, Dave. How you feeling this
too.
morning, brother?
Good. How you guys? That's right. Good, man.
I didn't think there was anything in that drink, but there was. That shit leaked all over me.
Oh man,
What's going on,
man.
fellas? Can you hear me?
Chilling, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
buddy.
I
we
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah.
All good.
Good.
Hold on one
Good.
second. I'm gonna bring up a few more people to join us in the conversation because I see them backstage. Just know, guys, we're bringing up you guys to the open panel as you showed up in the queue that's down there. So we got to bring up two more people. We got to bring up my guy, Mr. Unpopular Opinion. Gio's in the building. G, how you
up,
doing,
fellas?
my guy?
I'm chilling, man. How you guys doing?
All
Good.
right.
Chilling, bro. Chilling.
Yo,
on this-
Hector, I
on
just
this-
want to say real quick. I'm sorry about your dad. Hopefully everything works out well.
Oh, thank you,
You know,
bro.
if you need anything, call me.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. And
Yeah,
for
we're
those
all
that
here
are in the
for
chat,
that.
appreciate the prayers, appreciate the thoughts that were in the chat. I'm making my way to Florida this weekend. So yeah, I gotta call up the flights and try to get me a nice cheap flight to head down to Florida. But we gotta bring up the next person to join the conversation. Thanks, Dave. We gotta bring up Miss Grace Monroe to the conversation.
All
Grace,
right.
this
What up,
superstar
Grace?
has returned.
Hi, boys.
Superstar.
How you doing, Grace?
I'm doing good. Listen, can I give a take? I've been dying
Yes.
to say
Go
this.
ahead, Grace. Go ahead.
The
Say
floor
it.
is yours.
Let me tell you something. My husband's tired of talking about it. I'm like, but what if this? But what if that? And, you know, he's a Rangers fan. We all know. Okay, listen. Yesterday, the news came out, right? That Hal Steinbrenner stuck his nose in and called Brian Cashman and said, hey, stop the presses. Stop everything. When we know that Cashman was involved. Sorry, y'all. I'm jumping right in.
No,
Do it.
all good.
We know that Cashman was involved currently making a deal to get Gleyber Torres to the Marlins. Okay, we know this. And Hal apparently called and said, "Stop everything. Don't sell off. We're hanging where we are." Okay. Now I asked myself as a Yankees fan. Well, first I was mad, right? I'm like, why is Hal doing this? Whatever. But then I asked myself, why now? Why would he do this now? When we know for a fact, and it has been said on multiple platforms, when Hal has gone on and stated, Cashman has a blank check. Cashman has the reins. He's been saying this for years, and he's never stuck his nose in before. So
Right.
why now, right? So everybody's saying, oh, it's because of money, right? No, it's not because of money. Guess what? Hot take from Grace. It's not because of money. You know why? Because they put that patch on the uniform, but they didn't put the biggest patch. They didn't put the most money patch. They picked the smallest, most low profile navy that would go with our uniform patch. Okay. If it was just about the money, we would have had a big oxy patch on our shoulder like the Astros had last night.
The
Okay.
Astros had, yeah.
But we don't. Okay. So what's that telling me? Hal is getting some money, but it's not just about the money. So what's going on? So I started putting it together, y'all. Listen.
Go ahead, Grace.
Wow.
Grace, I'm sorry. Grace turned the light on. She got her Murder, She Wrote going on in the
For
background.
real,
That's
I was
right.
like, she's sleuthing
Go
that
ahead, Grace.
shit.
Go
Let's
ahead,
go,
Grace.
sleuth.
CSI Yankees.
Murder she wrote over here.
Go for it, Grace.
Go ahead, Grace.
Rip them. They deserve it.
Y'all
Go
are
for
my
it.
Yankees fan. Y'all are my Yankees friends. I don't have any Yankees friends in real life. Okay, so that's why I've been dying to come on here. Okay, listen. What if And I'm not just trying to like be, you know, too optimistic, but for real, what if Hal is like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you just told me you need more money. Pop, I gave you $300 million.
And he couldn't build the roster.
You're telling me now we ain't got what we need? Bet. Don't you sell off one mother piece. And guess what? In the off season, you're gonna have some answers to give me, the boss.
I hope so.
There you go, Grace.
That nickname's taken. He is not the boss.
And I haven't heard anybody say this. I'm like, what if Hal is like 300 million and you can't get it done? Guess what? You stay right there. You stay right there and we're going to have a talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if that's what it is?
Mm-hmm. Like AK-47 said, what is this, the Matrix? I thought this was real life. Absolutely, AK. I'm right there with you, but we got more people that we want to bring up to the conversation. Grace Monroe is
a lot
on
of questions.
fire.
A lot of question marks.
A lot of questions. No, there definitely is a lot of questions. So just guys, give me a second. I'm gonna bring up a few more people so we can toss it around. I got my guy Tyler, the Bleacher Creatures backstage. Tyler, let me just get a thumbs up to make sure you're good to come up on the panel. There you go, Tyler. Tyler, welcome to the panel. First time, Tyler. What it do, brother?
What's up, Tyler?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing today?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Listen, I don't mean to put this much pressure on you, Tyler, but Grace, she came in firing. She came in on a hot one, Tyler. So you got to follow up, Grace. What's your thoughts on the conversation? I'll throw it up to Unpopular Opinion and David as well to get their thoughts on it before I bring up the next few people from the backstage. Just so you guys know that are backstage, I'm going to bring up Jerry Cadill next, Don Sicario and Casey Funtime, and then I'm going to circle around to Sunil and LI Yankee King. So go ahead, Tyler, and then throw it over to Gio and then David.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys watch the Unpopular Opinion channel, but you know, I don't really get too heated. I've never really had these like angry takes at Cashman or Hal or anybody. But after seeing what Pete said, man, like I was on Cashman's ass on the trade deadline day. Like I was got my pitchfork out. I was ready to go. But you know, I wanted him to sell everybody other than like the core, because you know the Mets actually kind of have a core going. They got some young guys, but the average age of the Yankees offense is like 29, with like more than half of them being over 30. And I was just looking, and you know, all these guys over 30 are either injured or they're below average on offense. So if Hal just, you know, like she said, he's already at 300 mil and he doesn't want him to go any further. I get that, but like you got to like redistribute the wealth and kind of like figure out this roster, because obviously it's not working at this point.
No, definitely. Gio, same question going your way, bro. Then throw it over to David before I bring up the next trio to join us on the conversation.
Yeah, you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist at heart. So as soon as
guys hide your aluminum foil before Unpopular Opinion steals it all. Hide the aluminum foil.
So soon I already had similar idea what Grace was going at, but now that I'm hearing her say it now, it's just like reaffirming what I believe is just that he doesn't want to spend any more money. He doesn't want to rebuild. He doesn't want to lose any type of you know, ticket sales, jersey sales, nothing. He's like, listen, I gave you everything you needed. You put together this shit show. We're going to write it out, and then we're going to figure this out in the off season, because there's no way, you know, I'm going to, you know, tank this season. And you know what? They can do it. They can get hot in the postseason. Whoever is the hottest team usually wins. So we just got to pray we can get in and we are the hottest team come, you know, first game of the playoffs. So
if I can real quick, just give me just 1 second, right? We got diehard Yankee fan Bobby. Diehard, he said, sorry for the question, but I'm new to this. How do I join the panel? Is there a button to click on the YouTube app? Thank you for helping. Bobby, I put the link in the chat. It's a StreamYard link. You click that link, it brings you to another page where you can put your name, and then you'll pop up backstage, and I can bring you up on the panel. The link is in the chat right now, Bobby. It's let me highlight it just so Bobby can see it. Where is it at? The slow internet. Here it is right here, Bobby. That's the link right there. Click the link, Bobby. It'll bring you to StreamYard, let you sign up and everything like that. David, same question going your way, brother, before we bring up the next bunch for the convo. Go ahead.
Okay, wait, hold on. Hello? Hey, Brian, it's Hal. Stop the presses. Do not trade anybody. What?
I honestly thought you was I honestly thought you was getting a phone call right now. I'm like, is this bastard serious? I just threw it to him and he's gonna answer the phone. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I saw that what Pete put out about that, I guess I'm not surprised, but I am surprised because I'm like, how can you sell me the fact that yes, can we get in and actually win? Sure, but you're telling me Luis Severino is a winning player for you? I don't think so. Not by the way he's been pitching. And you could have traded him. What was it, to the Diamondbacks? I think, Pete, they had a deal in place with the Diamondbacks to trade Luis Severino there. And Hal's trying to tell him, no. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man? Nah. If this is really the case, Hal's turning into what James Dolan was with the Knicks. It didn't work.
Oh God, I'm a Knicks fan, bro. You just
I know, Hector. And at least it looks like for now, James Dolan finally took a step back and is letting the front office with the Knicks handle it. And now he's meddling with the Rangers, but that's another story for another day. But I just hope that's really not the case. Is that Hal is meddling? Because if he's meddling, we're gonna end up like the Knicks, and we don't want to end up like the Knicks. You know, I mean, at least it looks like the Knicks are turning it around, but yeah, I just hope that's not the case. Yeah. And Grace, great job with the fire, coming in with the fire.
Oh, okay. Thank you. XOXO, love you. Okay, listen. I don't think Hal is turning into that. He didn't even go to the games.
Right.
I'm telling you, I don't think that's what it is. I really don't. I
hope not.
I hope not too, but I really don't. Like, why now? Why now of all times, you know?
I think
there's something else going on.
I think what the Mets did really, he saw what the Mets were doing, and he's like, oh, I don't want to end up like that, selling, and then losing those ticket sales. That's what I'm thinking, if that is the case.
But David, let me ask you this. The way that the Mets have handled this situation has been so stark different than the way that the Yankees have handled their situation, because we always talk about how we just get lied to. Lies. The Mets came out, their GM, their owner, everybody came out, and they were, I don't know, call me crazy, honest.
Yes.
They were Grace, they were more of a united front when I'm having the conversation with their fan base. And when you compare both teams, the Mets and the Yankees, yes, the Yankees are closer to a playoff spots than the Mets were. But at the same time, when you look at the roster that we have and how we've been playing over the past month and a half or over the past 2 months since Judge got injured, the fact that you allowed someone to play for 2 months with a concussion. And they came to you, he came to them like at the beginning of the Baltimore Orioles series to tell them, listen, guys, it's just something is off with me. We had a couple of days before the trade deadline. You could have called up Cleveland. You could have traded for Josh Bell, or you could have traded for an outfielder. Move it. No, obviously,
Bellinger way before.
Or Cody Bellinger before the Cubs started winning. Go ahead, David. I got some more people I want to bring up to the combo.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. So the whole situation with Rizzo. So I don't know if you know. Does anybody watch wrestling here? Okay, remember the whole
Stone Cold left.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Remember the whole CM Punk situation?
Yeah, the mic drop situation. Yeah.
Remember how he was going to the doctor saying that there's something wrong, and they kept clearing him? Don't hold me to this, but I think that's the same doctor that works for WWE.
No. Look, not only that, he was going to the WWE doctors that were clearing him. These are the Yankees doctors, right? This is not Judge's independent doctor.
It might be the same doctor. I think
Dr. Ahmad is the Yankees physician. I wasn't sure that he wasn't
Dr. Doolittle.
No, I'm not sure what his first name is. I know his last name is Ahmad.
Because if it is the same WWE doctor was named Ahmad. That's why I'm wondering if it's the same doctor.
Yeah, like Tyler just said, Christopher Ahmad. Yeah.
I
think that is the same doctor
who worked for WWE at that time. And every time Punk would go to him saying, listen, I think something's wrong, he kept clearing him, saying that, and it turns out he had a staph infection.
And when you look at it too, David, like I said, these are the team doctors that they're being paid by the team to clear these players to play them. Grace, I'm not sure if you're big into the NBA, but Tracy McGrady had the same situation with his knee. They kept clearing him. The Houston Rockets doctors, they kept clearing him to play. He went to an independent doctor that told him, listen, you have no cartilage in your knees. Your bones are rubbing against each other and disintegrating. That's what was happening. Tracy McGrady had to retire early. It's malfeasance from the front office. Grace, what's your thoughts on that? Throw it over to Tyler, Gio. Then I got to bring up Jerry and the last few guys to join us as well. Go ahead, Grace. Sorry.
Unfortunately, it all comes down to who's paying their paycheck. Where's their motivation coming from? Are you being paid by people who have an incentive to get Anthony Rizzo back on the field, whether he is healthy or not? Or are you being paid by Anthony Rizzo, who has his own best interests at heart, perhaps? Where, you know what I mean? Like, so that incentive, if you follow that incentive, you could probably figure out what's going on. You know what I mean?
Now, I want to ask you guys, I know some of us Yankee fans, this may have rubbed us the wrong way, right? But I want to bring this up real quick. It was a great chat for I Am That I Am. Why is it not showing up? He says, was A-Rod wrong or right when he sued the Yankees? I want to ask you guys, now with all this stuff that's coming out of how the Yankees handled Judge, Rizzo, Herman, was A-Rod wrong for suing the Yankees doctors and for suing the Yankees when that situation popped up with his hip?
The only issue is, no, not pursuing the Yankees, but I don't know if it was the same doctor. But if it wasn't and it's the same thing, then that means it's the Yankees, not the doctors. Right.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely. So Gio, Tyler, I want to get your perspective, Celso, and I'm gonna bring up the next guys, Jerry, Don Sicario, and KC Funtime. I see you guys backstage. Sorry about that, but go ahead, Celso.
Yeah, you're talking about the question itself. No, I agree. Yeah. Right. I mean, different time, same situation. So it has to be an organization thing, right? Whether it's the doctor or not, right? Because I doubt it's the same doctor. Or if it is, it's somebody that's on their board, right? Their medical board staff and all that. So that is more proof that it's been how long? The same shit, the same routine. Shit. I mean, this $1.99 super chat is phenomenal. Yankees' entire organization is lost as right now. It's true.
Facts.
Well, listen, as frustrated as we are, I understand why you're doing that, but we should have a right to curse considering how frustrated we are, even though they're on a
go ahead.
Stopped him.
There you go.
Stopped him.
David, you know what it is?
There we go.
You know what it is? David's shirt is what? What did you just say? What? Gio, I want to get your take, and then I will throw it over to Tyler before I bring up the next three guys. Go ahead, Gio.
This season is turning into Major League 4. And it's a movie. I want to watch. It's legit a movie. Anything that can go wrong is going wrong this season. This is complete incompetence across the entire spectrum of the organization. I don't even know how we even come back from this, because A-Rod was right to sue these guys. We keep talking about Aaron Judge having his own complete staff for a reason, because he even identified early that, you know what, I can't trust anything these guys do, anything they say, and this is the result of it. And I don't even know where you go from here. It's bad, bro. It's bad.
Yeah. Hype Beast J with the $4.99 super chat. MOB will look into this Rizzo situation. They don't want NFL problems. Trust me. Hype Beast J. Hopefully, because like you said, they don't want that concussion. They don't want none of that type of smoke. They don't want that smoke. Tyler, I want to get your thoughts, and I'm gonna bring up Jerry, KC, and Don Sicario as you're giving your take. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, all I can think of is that clip from SpongeBob where that guy's like, "Oh, brother, this guy stinks," and just gotta grab that guy and put him in the Yankees clubhouse and just put him on repeat, and maybe he'll get somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. I see we got Don Sicario in the building. Big time Jerry's in the building. KC Funtime's in the building. Don Sicario, I know your time is limited just because I know you're working right now. So I'm going to throw it over to you first, man. Mano, with everything that's going on, what's your thoughts? And also, happy fucking Friday, my guy. Salute to you, bro.
Hey. Yo, shout out to everybody in here right now. Y'all always showing love, and we appreciate the hell out of y'all. So, but Grace nailed it. I mean, there's been times where everybody's, talking about Hal Steinbrenner, but how much more money? How much more money does this team need to succeed, especially with the Tampa Bay Rays operating the way they are? I know Baltimore Orioles, they had to, lose a bunch of games a few years in a row to get all of these top draft picks. But at the same time, it has to come to a point when this organization has to take some of the heat for not developing some of these players right. So I know, I was talking about this a few years back when everybody was talking about Hal. Like, Hal is looking at that kid like, it's like when you're telling a kid, like, I gave you $20. How more money you need to go to the, you know what I'm saying? Like, this organization is a mess. Look what happened with Clint Frazier a few years back and that whole situation with the concussion. Or what about the other kid that we had at third base that, what's his name, that we moved him to Toronto? That he started having the, that he had the.
Oh, no. You're talking about Brandon Drury. Brandon Drury.
Yeah.
Look at, exactly. They didn't realize he had a concussion or something like that for a while. This organization, but you know what? The bias in me, I have it in me. Like Jack Curry said in his book, before there was history, there had to be misery or something like that. So I'm gonna roll with that, and I'm gonna hopefully this is the year where everything is so messy that the baseball gods bless us fans, and we actually make a run, and who knows, probably even up. I know I'm biased, and I know it's just.
No, we all biased, but I just wanted to add on to your point. Enzo in the chat said, you remember when Brian Roberts had the same concussion problem with the Yankees, and they missed that one also? Go ahead, Don.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's at this point right now. Go ahead, Jigga.
What's up, Papa? What's up? No, that's what I was gonna say, bro. You're right, but I don't even think the baseball gods want to come and help us fans. They're like, we have blessed this organization, and we gave them all the freedom to do something with it. And I'm sorry, we got to turn a blind eye because these guys are garbage. And I think for that statement to come true, the misery for success in the future, the misery has to lead to change. And the problem is nobody, not a single person on this panel, not a single of the 75 plus people in the chat can sit here confidently and say the organization will do something to change things. Not a single person. And if you can sit here and look me in the face and be like, no, I trust her. I trust them. Something's going to happen. You're full of shit.
Yeah, point blank. I want to throw it over to to big time Jerry, then Casey, and then I want to circle back to Grace as we continue the conversation. Hold on 1 second because I gotta unmute Jerry. Big time Jerry, how you feeling, my guy?
Good morning, Hector. My prayers go out to your dad. I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Hello to the panel. Gracie, go girl. You go girl. You light up this panel. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Glad to have
That's
you.
a fact. That's a fact, Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
You can't see my Italian skin boiling, but the steam is coming out of my head. This team is a soap opera.
I see the smoke coming out your ears right now, Jerry, as you speak. Go ahead.
If my grandfather was living, he'd say, Stunads. You're a bunch of Stunads. Oh my God.
Fungul.
Arriba the Dirty. That's all I know.
Jigga's right. You can't trust this organization. You just can't trust this organization. They have no direction. Direction. This team needs to have more contact hitters and less strikeouts. 30 strikeouts in 2 days, that is atrocious.
Jerry, I want to ask you, Jerry, because you go back further when it comes to following this team than anyone here that's on the panel that's in the chat. So I want to ask you, do you remember a time where the Yankees, the organization, the medical staff was just this negligent during a one season for so many players? Do you remember any time misdiagnosis, mistreatment of players? Do you remember anything like this, Jerry, in your time?
Hector, I can't recall. I remember Mantle bleeding, his uniform bleeding. He had to come out of the game. Skowron used to get hit a lot. Great ball player, first baseman. But I can't recall, Hector. I really can't. And I'm going back to 1956.
Before Steinbrenner took over.
It's incredible.
Incredible. It really is, Jerry. I want to get Casey's thoughts on it 1 second, so just hold on 1 sec. KC, my guy, my brother. You listen.
What's up, fellas?
What's your thoughts on everything we're talking about, my guy?
Well, I just echo everybody's comments. It's the organization right now, us as fans, I don't think we've seen this type of chaos and mess until I can say early 90s, right before Buck Showalter came into play. And from the front office to the medical staff to the ownership to the manager, I mean, there's just no clear direction, and we're being lied to. I treat it like the White House, where they're just saying these buzzwords on these press conferences to make us fans just try to go away. But we're too smart. We look past it. We know they're giving us a bunch of bull, and we as fans, I think in New York for the Yankees, we would appreciate, just like how the Mets took their approach. At least they're showing direction.
Yeah.
They drew a line. Sorry, it didn't work. They sold off some pieces. They're getting a lot of talent. And even if that talent doesn't develop, they can use that talent in the offseason to flip it, to trade, to get other players to improve their team. Our team did not improve at all. We're the same team. We were the same team in the offseason with an exception of Rondon. Same exact offensive team. We've been screaming and yelling about getting offensive improvements. And we're here in August, same team. So
Hey, Cashman got you a middle reliever. What are you talking about, Casey?
Yeah, two guys that none of us ever heard about until the trade deadline. But I seen someone put in the chat right there, the Yankees, they're in novella right now, right? Don Sicario, I know you watch Señor de los Cielos, right? Because those one of my favorite novellas that I used to watch back in the day. Those are more interesting than what the Yankees are right now.
Sabido Gigante.
I got a theory, though. I got a theory.
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead.
Before I head out, I got a theory about this whole Cashman and how, you know how they're always talking about the process. I feel Hal Steinbrenner gave Cashman a 4-year extension, right? He's like, this is what we're going to do. In the next 4 years, since the baby bombers that we have, all of our top prospects, they're knocking on the door, right? Per se, they're knocking on the door ready to come up. He's going to be on some like, all right, I'm not going to be feeding you no more cash. What you built up in the past few years, this is it. Let's see what happens with all of these new baby bombers coming up. This is your last chance. That's why he extended him. He extended Aaron Boone. If this doesn't work out, I believe in the next few years, if all of these babies come up and everything still looks the same, a big mess, I think that's when Hal Steinbrenner will probably move on from Brian Cash. If all the babies, they're so close to coming up right now.
Hopefully.
Go for it.
No, I love that. I love that take, Don. See, my issue with it, though, is if that's the case, then if he's going to give him that leeway, then why would he stop him from getting rid of players if he knows we need to do that to even have a plan? Because then what we're saying is, hey, we're going to have 4 years of watching our guys be blocked in the minors. We're going to have 4 years of just watching these overbloated contracts that we have, knees that are not working, players that are hurting, and just keep beating them to shit. So then to me, that's saying, hey, I give you 4 years, I'm not giving you money.
Language.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even Cashman to trade off these kids because they're so close. He's like, I'd rather you wait, and we're gonna have to stick it out this year because it's to Hal Steinbrenner. He's not like his pops. He's not about yo, I want to win right now. He's just
at any cost.
So he's like, all right, this year's a fail. Yeah, this year's a fail. It is what it is.
And what happened to being more athletic? What happened to that?
Yeah,
exactly. And Brian Cashman hasn't done none of that. He hasn't.
I want to
done none of that. So he's like, what are we gonna do? Yeah, you good?
No, my fault, Don. I just want to circle back to Grace real quick, and then get my guy David in on the conversation. Grace, you brought up a good point about the offseason and about how Steinbrenner should attack the offseason. So if you could make a quick synopsis, I'm gonna throw it over to you, Grace, and throw it over to David. The same question: if you were Hal Steinbrenner, what are the 3 main points that you would attack in this postseason? It doesn't have to be in order, just 3 main points that you think that this team needs to attack in order to get better. Go ahead, Grace. Let's throw it over to David, then throw it over to Tyler, then Gio, and then circle back on the conversation. I got a few more people backstage, Sunil and Jonathan, that I will bring up as we continue the convo. Go ahead, Grace.
Well, I don't think it's.
Oh, my fault. We're done. Dipping out?
Yeah, I'm gonna dip out, but I appreciate the love. I appreciate you always opening this up for everybody. Grace, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I know you about to kill it right now, Grace. I know you to kill it, so I'm gonna continue listening right now.
Don Sicario, appreciate
All right,
you.
Don.
You guys,
Chicago.
make sure you guys go follow our friends Don Sicario and Ruben over on NYY News. They work with our friend Felix over there. Make sure you guys support them on Twitter and Instagram. They're putting out amazing work. Don Sicario, man, Manu, you already know, bro.
Bye.
Later,
I mean,
baby.
listen, I don't
Go
think
ahead,
I'm
Grace.
saying any, rocket science or anything that none of us have been saying for months. We need a left fielder. Hello, am I crazy? Am I in a bad dream? We started the season with Brian Cashman saying we need to fill left field, specifically left field. We're looking at outfielders, specifically left field. The spring training came. Brian Cashman, blah, 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 blah. We're still looking for a left fielder. Don't worry, guys. We're not done yet. We ain't done. Don't worry. Guess what? No moves. Then we're like, okay, by the trade deadline for sure, we're getting a left fielder. We ain't getting no left fielder. I mean, am I crazy right now? We have a full major position out there in Death Valley that is unfilled all season. We need left-handed batters. Am I crazy? Am I saying something that's new to Yankee Stadium? I don't think so. No. We need left-handed batters or more left-handed batters or switch hitters. And we need some more outfielders. And we need a new manager. I'm sorry to say, Aaron Boone got to go. I'm sorry. Aaron Boone probably has to go before they fire Brian Cashman. So let's go ahead and get that ball rolling. Let's get rid of Aaron Boone, bring in somebody else. The consistent, well, we did okay in the post-game press conferences is enough right there to say we got to go in a new direction. Because if mediocrity is okay to our manager, then we're going to be mediocre. And guess what? That's what we are, y'all. 500 team.
Yep.
We all get
and if you guys couldn't tell from that one, you could tell Grace Monroe is not a fan of Taylor Swift, the way she attacked Aaron Boone on that one. David, I'll throw it over to you, David. Same question going your way. Like Grace, she brought up the off season. If you were Hal Steinbrenner, how would you attack the off season? What are the 3 moves that you're making? They don't have to be in order, but what are the 3 keys that this team should try to attack this off season? Go ahead, Dave.
Okay. Just every time I start something, I'm just gonna start it with what?
All
right. So, but to say something to what Grace said, they had Aaron Hicks. They were good. They didn't need a left fielder. They had Aaron Hicks. They had Oswaldo Cabrera. They don't gotta go get a left fielder.
They got IKF, bro.
They have IKF.
Reggie Cordero was killing in the spring training. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, he actually was hitting in the beginning, and then he came back to earth. But the 3 things. 1, fire Brian Cashman, because even though, you know what, let me change that, because if what they're saying is true and this was Hal, then I really can't put all the blame on Brian Cashman. But if he's going to continue doing the same thing, then he needs to be out. 2, Aaron Boone has to go, because I can't. How is it that you have 27 outs in a game and 18 of them in strikeouts, but you were good besides the strikeouts?
We were battling, bro. We were battling.
Oh, they were good at that.
Savages.
Listen, I know he's not going to rip them.
Savages is in the box.
But I know he's not going to rip them. But if we can clearly see it, you should be able to clearly see it. So Aaron Boone has to go. Aaron Boone has to. And number 2, actually do your job. Whoever the GM is, actually do your job and actually fill the holes you have, and stop trying to be cheap. If there's a free agent out there that can actually help you, go and get them. Stop trying to build from within, because apparently you tried to go from within. Aaron Hicks was DFA'd. Oswaldo Cabrera was back in the minors, but he's back up now. You're playing guy, even though I gotta give IKF credit, man. I gotta give him credit. He's actually one of the better players on this. If I can just add to your point, David, because there was a clip that was circulating yesterday. I'm not sure if any of you guys saw it, with Stephen A. Smith, right? Yes.
As a Knicks fan, right? Stephen A. Smith, he is a thorn in my ass. He is the hemorrhoid that doesn't go away. When it comes to Stephen A. Smith and his takes on the Knicks and the Yankees, he can just take it and shove it up his ass. He came out yesterday talking about IKF because IKF came out and said, "I'm happy that I'm a Yankee. I'm glad that I'm a Yankee." That's the type. Those are the type of players we want on our team. That's it, regardless of IKF's first season, right? Take that. Make it for what it was.
He was out of position.
He was out of position. We all know that.
He's a third baseman.
But David, you could agree with me, and I think the people on the panel could agree with me also. IKF is one of the only players that we have that busts his ass up that first baseline trying to beat out an infield single. 110%. He is one of the only person that is on that field that actually shows he gives a damn. One of the only few. So when you have IKF on your team, he's not a superstar. He ain't going to pop you 20 home runs. He ain't going to even pop you 10 home runs.
That's not what he does. He's not a power.
That's not what we want IKF for. We want him to be that nice piece that we could rely on coming off of the bench to play multiple positions and to be a good character guy in that dugout. And you could tell that's exactly what he is. He is a good character guy for that dugout and for that locker room. Dave, go ahead and I'll throw it over to Gio.
He's doing what DJ was brought in to do originally. Remember when we signed DJ LeMahieu back in the
without the extra shit, without that extra.
DJ was originally brought in to play all over the field. It just so happens he was thrown right into the lineup. But what's I gonna say? But I gotta, and even Volpe, I'm giving Volpe credit, man. There was so much pressure put on him. He's the next Derek Jeter. He's the next. There's a lot of pressure that's been put on him. And has he made mistakes? Absolutely. But what baseball player doesn't? Not only that, a rookie at that. And I'm giving him a lot of credit, and I'm giving him time.
And like I said, Dave, and I'll throw it over to Gio, but when you look at the last two games, we would not have won these last two games if it wasn't for Anthony Volpe. The home run he had the night before, yesterday giving us the lead when it turned to 4-3. Gio, want to get your take. Same question going your way. We got to get Tyler on the convo, Jerry, Casey, and I got to bring up Jonathan. I see Li Yankee King is still trying to join. Your camera's not working, Li. If you can, refresh it and join the stream again, because it's the same thing that's going on again that you was having an issue with. So Gio, throw it over to you. Same thing. If you was Hal, what you're doing this offseason, and throw it over to our guy Tyler, Jerry, and Casey. Go ahead, Pop.
So if I was Hal, man, the first thing I'll be doing is getting younger. The Yankees are 23rd in average age in all 30 teams. 29 and a half years old on average. Look at the teams that are on the bottom of that on that list. Cincinnati, the Diamondbacks. You got the Baltimore Orioles. Get younger. I don't next season, 2024, 2025, probably besides Juan Soto, I don't want to see any free agent signed. I don't want to see any whatsoever. This might be an unpopular opinion. That's fine. I want to see what these kids can do. We've been hugging them for too long. We've been hyping them up for too long. I need to see what Dominguez could do. Austin Wells, Spencer Jones, Everson Pereira. Fucking give me Florial. Like, we have pieces in our farm system that are apparently great, right? So play them. And you know what? If it works, great. If it doesn't, so fucking what? We still have options of free agency. We can trade other pieces. There's ways to move around it, but we have to see what we got. And it's time to move on from trying to buy championships. Let's get young. Let's get fun. Let's get athletic. And let's go. Let's go for it. Look, the Cincinnati, everyone's doing it. We can do it too.
But considering our player development, do we really trust them?
I mean, this is where you got to put them to the test.
Yeah.
Put up a shut up. Right, you guys are saying that we have one of the best farm systems in the league. Prove it now. Prove it.
I agree.
Point blank. Tyler, I want to get you on the combo. Same question going your way, Tyler, and let's throw it over to Jerry and Casey as well. Go ahead, Tyler.
Forget about my man TC over there.
Oh yeah, TC, of course. TC's coming in at the end. Go ahead, Tyler.
That's for you guys. Open panels is all you.
We want to hear your opinion too.
Okay, I got one.
I'm sure you have brother.
It's time to make a decision. It's time to make a decision this offseason. They got like all this depth in the outfield, in the infield, even at the catcher position, and even in the starting position, starting pitcher spot. But all this depth is like mediocre. It's like it's a bunch of guys who could play a role, but they shouldn't be the starter. Looking at the free agent class this year, other than Ohtani, there's really not much. I mean, the player that fits like a glove would probably be Bellinger, but if he keeps playing like he's playing now, he's going to get overpaid. and the Yankees just don't need another guy to be overpaid, and then he's just going to get another injury or go back to what he was doing in Los Angeles. So that's probably not a risk you want to take. And then you got Bader, who's going to be a free agent, Wandy, and a couple other guys. I just let them go. And so you got to make a decision on like Florial, Pereira, Peraza, because you can't just waste them. If you look at AA and AAA, if you combine those rosters, you got like an all-star team that would probably do pretty good against the Yankees at this point. So you got to make some decisions. And like Gio said, you got to definitely get younger. We got to get more speed, more athletic. And, you know, these old guys, they just keep breaking down and they're just not producing because it's a different ball game. I think Cashman, when they introduced the shift, he kind of got away from those left-handed hitters. But guess what, Cashman?
It's gone.
The shift is gone now. Like, adapt. The league's adapting, and obviously there's certain like types of teams that are doing better with this kind of league. So, you know, you can't just sit back and wait for like Rizzo and LeMahieu and Stanton and all these guys who just aren't getting it going to get it going. So time to take some action.
Yeah, definitely. And the only person that has been getting it going out of the names that you just mentioned has been Stanton, right? DJ as well, secondly or whatever, but it's been Stanton, then DJ if you're trying to rank them. Jerry, same question going your way. Throw it over to Casey and then throw it over to TC before we bring up the next fellas to close out the open panel. Go ahead, Jerry. Oh, wait, Jerry, you're muted.
Jerry,
hold on
you muted yourself.
Jerry. I got you. Go ahead, Jerry.
You muted yourself again. There you go.
It's like a washing machine. Wash, rinse, spin. Same thing. The players are getting old. We pay too much for these guys. Our farm system is overrated. I think we do that to us all the time. Second on IKF, I told my son, Casey Funtime, IKF, pound for pound, he's a valuable player. He keeps his mouth shut. He does what he has to do. He even pitched for us in 4 games. What else?
That's the reliever we got.
He's been pitching better than Carlos Rodon so far.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The guy plays all over the place, and he did a great job at third base yesterday. So what the heck is going on with Josh Donaldson? I thought we were done with him.
You see him hanging out in the dugout, right? Yeah, you see him hanging out in the dugout talking to reporters like, yeah, I'm coming back. You're not coming back, Josh. We don't want you. No one wants you here. Grace already told you, bye, Josh, bye.
Hang up that uniform. Take it off.
That's a fact.
Don't show up anymore.
And he didn't bring the attitude we thought he was going to bring. Remember, he had that.
No, he got exposed. He got exposed as a fraud. He got exposed. Yeah. Yasmani Grandal from the White Sox last season exposed him as a fraud. He met him at home plate, face to face. Josh Donaldson folded. He's a fake
tough guy.
Fake tough guy. Yeah. Casey Funtime. Same question going your way and throw it over to TC.
Let everybody go.
Yeah, go ahead, Casey, and then throw it over to TC.
Well,
hold on 1 second. I got some guys backstage. I won't be able to bring up you guys just because we're gonna have to close the show out at 12:40. I just got a text message that I just have to respond when it comes to dealing with my pops. So I do apologize. We can't make this go a bit longer. But Casey, I want to get your take. Throw it over to TC, and then throw it over to David to get his take, and then Grace to close us out. Go ahead, Casey.
Yeah, I don't know how well this will be received, but I'm all about complete overhaul. I think with besides Judge, Cole, and some of the the bullpen and pitching, I think we can leave, but the offense I think needs a complete overhaul. I would either trade whoever you can and look for a different type of player. When I played high school baseball the year before and going into New Year, what we would do, our coach would look at our numbers and how we can improve the team this new season. Doesn't seem like the Yankees do that. They go after guys that they don't need. So what do we need? We need offense. We need guys that can hit with runners in scoring position. We need contact hitters. We need a high on-base percentage. We need guys that can steal bases. We need youth. So I would completely overhaul the team. I know that's not going to happen, but we're here in a unreality dreamland. So that's what I'm going to say. And I think if that were the case, Cashman would not be involved. It needed to be a whole new GM. They need to just show a new regime from the front office down and have a new approach with the minor league system and how they hit and not focus on launch angle and high velocity and go back to the way baseball used to be played with contact, get on base, move runners over, and score runs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right there.
Facts.
TC, I want to get your thoughts because you know you my guy, bro. So this is why TC helps me walk off of the ledge sometimes. But no, TC, same question going your way. If you're Hal Steinbrenner, how are you attacking this offseason? And let's throw it back over to the fellas on the panel together to close this out. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I'm with my brother there, KC, also known as Kevin. By the way, your dad, you don't need to call him Casey fun time. But so sorry about that. So yeah, I'm with him. I'm all about cleaning house, getting the contact hitters, getting the athletic guys. But here's what I'm doing. I'm firing Cashman. He's gone. He's got to be out. I'm bringing in a new GM, and
We got two of them.
I'm hiring Grace as operational supervisor, holding everybody accountable, going door to door, going in every office, saying, what's going on? Give me a report, medical, on field, everybody. I want that on my desk every day. I want to be up to date on what is going on. And Grace is the one to do it.
Grace is the
I doubled down that one. You got my full endorsement. She's the GM.
Is that a good one?
She's the president.
She's the
of baseball
CEO.
operations.
She's
Yes,
the president.
yes.
She got every job. She's like that person, like I said on the last show, in the small town. That's the volunteer firefighter, the volunteer dentist, the volunteer veterinarian. That's what Grace is going to be for the Yankees next season.
Mm-hmm.
David,
Honestly,
I know you want to. Go ahead, Grace.
They
Go
can't
ahead,
handle
Grace.
it. They're not ready. They're not ready because
You're
I
too
would be
expensive.
well, first of all, but I would be like, oh, that's cute. But what does that have to do with my business? You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Big
Like,
time facts.
feelings are great, but those have to go over here, and then we have to play ball.
Yeah.
Okay?
Grace,
like,
I wanted to ask you, right, because we haven't been able to speak after the trade deadline. How does your husband feel? Because I know he's a Texas Ranger fan, right? You guys got Matt Scherzer. You guys are killing it in your division right now. Where is he at? And do sometimes you got to smack him upside his head and let him know we're still the Yankees. You're the Texas Rangers, but we're still the Yankees. Go ahead, Grace.
he feels good, especially after Scherzer got that win and Evaldi went on the IL. That was a big hit to their fan base. So now I'm really hoping that Garrett Cole can be unopposed and win that Cy Young. But he has been absolutely, as an outsider, right, looking at the Yankees and getting all the updates from me, he's been absolutely confused. He has been truly, and he isn't biased because he's not a Yankees fan. But he's like, what are they doing? Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they do that? And I'm like, I don't know. It has been so interesting to see it through his lens, because he knows the New York Yankees, just like everybody does, right? But to have the intimate day-to-day updates from me, he's like, what a mess. What is going on? You're like what I said last time. You're swinging on 3-0. You're not swinging on 3-1. You're taking balls. I mean, you're taking strikes and swinging at balls. You're trying to steal third in front of the ball. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Getting thrown out. I mean, it's absolutely hard to explain to him. And
Gives you migraines.
Oh
yeah, it definitely does.
Sure.
And it's I know it's refreshing for you that an outside party like your husband, who isn't a Yankee fan, is seeing what's going on, and what's coming out of his mouth is basically what you've been saying, what Dave been saying, what Gio's been saying, what all of us Yankee fans have been saying. Now, if us Yankee fans are complaining, that's one thing. But when you got other fans from other franchises saying like, yo, what are they doing over there? Then something has to be up. David, I want to throw it over to you. And then Tyler, since it was Tyler's first time on the open panel, I want him to close us out. But we're going to get last words from Gio, Kevin, and Jerry Cadell as well. Dave, go ahead, bro.
So I just wanted to say, don't be surprised if when the offseason hits, the trade market heats up because there's not a lot of great free agents except for Shohei and maybe Bellinger, if you could, but they're going to be overpaid. But I just wanted to say that I've mentioned this a couple of times in panels. The Yankees need to go the way that the New York Giants did. Now, the only difference is the New York Giants had a few losing seasons, but Mara finally realized what I'm doing isn't working. We have to have a different vision. So that's when he brought in Shane brought in Dable, and the whole thing changed. Look at the Giants now. You know what I'm saying? You need to bring in someone with a different vision because, yes, the Yankees have a winning season almost every season. Yes, the Yankees make it to the playoffs, but that's it. The furthest they make is the ALCS. Great, but you don't make it. You don't even get into the World Series, nonetheless win the World Series. You don't even get to the World Series. So obviously what you're doing is wrong, or you're doing something wrong. Yeah, so I mean that's what I want to say about that, guys. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes.
David, you gotta end it with a what afterwards. Go ahead, Gio. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, Dave.
What?
Yeah, Gio, want to get your last thoughts, then throw it over to Kevin.
Yeah,
and then Jerry Cadell before Tyler closes us out.
Yeah, I want to use the time to say thank you, Hector, Jigga, TC, for allowing us to come on. I appreciate this platform, being able to voice my opinion. As crazy sometimes as it may be, you guys never make anyone feel bad, weird, or indifferent about their takes. So I appreciate you guys. Hector, I'm with you. So hit me if you need me.
I appreciate that, Gio. Thank you so much. And I appreciate all you guys. And like I tell people in the chat, this show and this channel, it wouldn't be what it is without the people that are in the chat, without the people that participate in the open panel. Grace Monroe, David, Gio, Casey Funtime, Jerry, and Tyler. I know this is your first time, but all takes from the fan base is welcome. Over here, we don't tell people how to be a fan. That's one rule that we have. You cannot tell someone how to be a fan of their team. That's one thing we preach over here. So everyone's takes are welcome. And I don't have to agree with everyone, but we're still welcome to join the conversation.
You're allowed to have different opinions.
Exactly. Point blank. Kev, want to get your takes and then throw it over to Jerry also.
Yeah, no, I echo on Pop. It's a pleasure to be on the show. And yeah, all the different takes, it's entertaining to hear. For years, my brother and my dad will talk baseball just like we're doing now. And we have the frustration, but to see it on this scale is awesome. It's awesome that we have this Yankee family. And I can't wait, regardless of how the team is playing. I can't wait for September 23rd.
Oh yeah,
we'll be rocking out and enjoying the time and just get to talk all the talk without any filters or YouTube or all that. So it's awesome.
Facts. I can't wait, guys. Make sure, again, people in the chat, guys that are on the panel, Grace as well. If you guys can make it September 23rd, please try to be there. I would love to meet all of you guys. IRL. Grace, I know your husband's a Texas Ranger fan, but we would still accommodate him. We'll make him feel good. I'll have a drink, especially Star Spangled Banner, just for him because he's from Texas. Jerry, go ahead, Grace.
Y'all, last night, I know if you were on Game Season Live, you saw me wilding out in the chat. I had a few too many glasses of wine, but I digress. My drunk ass trying to convince my husband to go to New York on September 23rd. I'm not even joking. All night long, I was giving it to him. And let me tell you, I can debate. with the best of them. So
we definitely can tell that. Yeah,
we know.
You can tell that.
I'm really trying, y'all. I don't know.
Grace, if you need any convincing, you let me know. I'll get on a phone call and try to convince because I would love to see you guys at the stadium. Just because Grace, you are a national treasure. Your takes in the comment section on the open panel, you are amazing as well. Jerry, I want to throw it over to you before we swing it over to Tyler to get ready to close us out. What's your last words, Jerry? And again, I do apologize for those that were backstage that I wasn't able to bring up for the open panel. I just had to cut the time. We're 4 minutes past the time, and I'm looking at text messages right now. Go ahead, Jerry.
Thank you so much, Hector, to be on this panel. God bless everybody there. Gracie, keep going. You kill it, girl. and you light up this panel. TC, love you. Kevin, love you. Love all
Todd.
you.
You can call me Todd.
Appreciate you, big time.
It's all right. It's okay.
I love you, Todd. Tyler, my man, first time on the open panel, brother. Get ready to close us out. And before you do, Tyler, let them know where they can find you on social media. Gio as well. Make sure you guys go follow Unpopular Opinion Sports and Gaming. Gio, if you want, put the link in the chat. I'll have Celso put it in the chat as well. But tell Tyler, my guy, take us out of here, brother.
Well, thank you first for having us on here. This is real fun to talk with some fellow Yankee fans with some takes that I can agree with. I feel like I'm not the only delusional person who feels like what's going on down there in New York is just doesn't make sense right now. Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at the Bleacher Creatures. We got NYY Unpopular Opinion on YouTube, and to all you folks in the chat, leave a like. This is a real good show. Hector's doing a great job. We got Grace here, just carrying out here, and it's a good group of guys, and I'm glad to be here. So thank you guys.
Appreciate you, Tyler. Tyler, just know you got an open door policy, Tyler. Anytime you want to come on the open panel, you're more than welcome to come on the open panel. Same for everyone else that's on the open panel. Dave, my guy, what do you got? One more last thing to say? Go ahead, David.
I just want to say, I know you got to get out of here, brother. And like I said, praise to you, man. As I told you in the chat, my father passed away from cancer in 2015. So I've been there. I just want to say thank you to you and TC Jigman just for having an open panel like this. This is my first time on the Morning Brew. Remember, I did the one with Jason back in May, but this is my first time on here, and I just want to thank you for having this outlet to let us
appreciate
our frustration. Grace, coming with the fire. I loved it. I loved your passion. That's why I said you should be the GM. You should be the president of baseball operations. You actually have a brain in your head. So but guys, I just loved every second of this, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely. I appreciate all you guys that were in the chat. My guy, Blood of the Panther, like always, top moderator of all the moderators, Blood of the Panther. Heck, hit me on Twitter. I definitely will, my guys. And appreciate all you guys that gave me your thoughts and prayers from my pops that are in the chat. Appreciate you during this rough time. Like always, peace, salutation. Hopefully the Yankees, they have some magic. And when we come back Tuesday, it's going to be another fire banger on Tuesdays. But like always, guys, enjoy your weekend. Throw the hearts up. Put the hearts and the emojis in the chats. But we out of here. Peace.
Quieres más, echa pa' acá, te quiero ver bailar. Se puede ver que no temas nada. Si tú te tiras, yo me tiro, 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 tiro. Si tú te tiras, yo me tiro, 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 tiro. Si tú te tiras, yo me tiro, 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 tiro. Si tú te tiras, yo me tiro, 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 tiro. Si tú te tiras, me tiro. Envidian por su estilo. Todo estaba tranquilo, pero llegaste sola al partido. Y baby, no me voy de aquí sin ti. Todo lo que estás sintiendo lo quiero sentir. Tu enojo, tu coraje, como llegaste aquí. Cantando que la ni, baby, dámela a mí. Por la T-Dress, joven por la T-Dress. Hop in the phantom, así y dress. Si quieres, pues nos vamos donde quieras, bebé. Me gusta como habla, tiene un lindo accent brasilera. Venina Vela, una atrevida, pero sincera.